Sin number 1, terminating rashly in a fit of anger.
Tom, you're fired.
That's the last straw. You're out of here, and I mean now.
There are at least 3 things wrong with an on-the-spot termination. People don't make good decisions when they're emotionally overwrought. There are many factors to consider before terminating, and being disrespectful encourages people to sue. Bottom line, wait until you talk to HR. Sin number 2, terminating in public, especially in a humiliating way.
Man, did you guys see that catch that Jackie Bradley made last night at the Red Sox game? Unbelievable. I couldn't believe that somebody could just stretch out that much.
Another coffee break, Bill? You know, I think you're a little too lazy and a little too slow to be in this job. I'll make an example out of you. You're fired. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Chris, whoever thought you were manager material should be fired right along with you. You're done here. Get your things and get out.
Public humiliation is a lawsuit magnet. There's no good reason to treat people this way, and a host of reasons to avoid it. Another similar problem is the perp walk. That is, when you publicly march someone to the door carrying a box of belongings with a security escort. That's begging for a lawsuit.
I never would have thought of suing, but the way they humiliated me, will you help me take them down?
Absolutely, Chris. You made the right call. You came to the right place.
Sin number 3, terminating without checking with HR.
Let's make today your last day. I'll talk to HR to manage the administrative details.
HR is gonna take forever on this. I want this nut job going today. Miller, get in here.
HR needs to be able to evaluate a number of factors before there is any termination. Consistency. Have other similarly situated employees been fired? If not, there's a lawsuit brewing. Appropriateness. Is this a significant enough infraction that termination is reasonable? Contract. Is there a contract or agreement that the termination would violate? Or maybe an implied contract of good faith and fair dealing? Special circumstance. Perhaps the whole department is going to be let go. Or maybe there's some situation of which the manager is not aware. For example, a complaint has been filed. Sin number 4, termination that looks like retaliation.
Well, you're fired for your poor performance. But let me add that you're not much of a team player. You complained to my boss, and you went to a government agency.
So, Sandy, you want 12 weeks of bonding leave during the busy season. Well, why don't we just make that leave permanent?
I don't care that you just filed suit. You're fired.
Whenever a termination closely follows a protected act, there will be an obvious suggestion of retaliation. That's a tough one to defend unless there is very strong documentation. It's best to do a thorough evaluation in these situations. Frustrating as it is, people who file complaints do have, at least to some extent, an umbrella of protection over them. Now, what does closely follows mean? Of course, it's a gray area, but most experts agree that weeks is close and months not so close. However, if there is any other evidence linking the 2 acts, all bets are off, no matter how great the time difference. Sin number 5, offering a false basis for a termination.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Donna, but because of severe budget cuts, we're going to have to let you go. The budget cuts aren't really all that bad. It's just, I don't want to tell her it's her performance. And it's bad enough she's getting fired.
Sally, I'm so sorry to have to tell you this. I mean, really, this hurts me. This really hurts me deep down inside. But I'm sorry to have to tell you, but as you know, things are changing around here, and well, unfortunately, your job's been eliminated. Not really, but John, whose performance is worse, is a golfing buddy.
Managers often want to soften the blow of a termination by blaming it on budget cuts or department reorganizations, or the company is going in a different direction. The problem comes when you rehire and the former employee finds out about it. He or she will assume that since the given reason was false, the termination was because of discrimination or retaliation. The jury will ponder the question, was the manager lying then, or is the manager lying now? Either way, the manager is a liar. Sin number 6, terminating without a reason on the basis of at will.
I don't have to give you any reason why I'm firing you. You're at will.
It's true that unless there's a formal contract of some kind, most employees are at will, and that means they can be terminated at any time for any reason or for no reason. And the flip side is that they can leave at any time. But here's a news flash. People don't like to be fired, and they're not going to blame themselves. They typically have no reason to think their performance is subpar, so the reason must be because of their protected status. That is, their race, their sex, their age, their disability. Now your company is in trouble. You have to begin your defense by proving that yes, your managers are so stupid that they fire employees for no reason. And then you have to explain why no reason is more likely than the alleged illegal reason. It's not going to go well. Sin number 7, terminating without proper documentation.
Why do I need documentation? The guy's a poor performer and I want him out of here.
Do I have documentation about the performance of the employee I fired this morning? Well, not yet, but I'll write something up for you.
The trouble with this scenario, terminating with no backup evidence of poor performance, is that there is usually documentation that shows good performance. Typically, since the person hasn't been terminated before, his or her performance reviews read good or satisfactory. Now this is like the offering a false reason problem. You're essentially saying to the jury, trust me when I say that I lied on the performance reviews. Finally, never falsify documents or date them back to the time of the alleged infraction. You'll get found out, and then you'll really see an angry judge. Sin number 8, not giving the employee a chance to explain.
Hey, do you got a second?
Kevin, this is the 3rd time you're late this month.
I know.
You know
I'm
what?
late, but-
I don't even care why. The time for excuses is over. You're gone. Get out.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Kevin, this is the 3rd time you're late this
I know
month.
I'm late, but I just found out my daughter has cancer, and I had to schedule some appointments.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Sit down. Yeah, let's talk.
True, there's no legal requirement to give employees a chance to explain, but juries will view it as a basic element of fairness. In a situation like the one in the scenario, the jury's sympathies are not going to be with the manager. And here's another scenario. A young woman transferred into a new position at her company. She was late the first few mornings, and the new boss wanted to fire her. HR suggested that he talk to the employee. Come to find out, she was actually coming in an hour early to train her replacement at the old job, and then rushing downstairs to the new one a few minutes late. You'll be glad to know she didn't get fired. Sin number 9, terminating on your own.
Oh, my goodness. Wait, I don't need to check with anyone. It's a termination offense, and that's it.
It's generally better to have a group involved in deciding on a termination for a number of reasons. There may be other people on the team, like the HR manager, in a better position to judge the appropriateness of the termination. A group decision shows that careful consideration was given to the matter. Since litigation can go on for years, and since managers can come and go, it's in the organization's best interest to have several managers familiar with the case. Sin number 10, terminating without preparation.
I don't care about checklists and benefits. I want this person gone now.
Well, I guess we need to talk. Sometimes things don't always work out the way we like them to, so, it puts us in some difficult situations sometimes.
Let's face it, terminations prompt many lawsuits, and experience suggests that the decision of whether to sue or not is often influenced by how the person was treated during the termination. So take the time to be prepared. Know what you are going to say. This lets whoever is handling the termination better control the conversation and keep it from becoming too long, too emotional, or too unclear in delivery and message. Also determine who is going to do what documents need to be available, what procedures need to be followed, what references will be given, final pay, and so on. Treating the terminated employee with respect goes a long way toward preventing expensive and productivity-draining lawsuits and charges. Okay, that's our 10 sins of termination. Did we get them all? Let me know at sbruce@blr.com. For terminations and for all your HR challenges, we recommend hr.blr.com. This is Steve Bruce for BLR's HR Daily Advisor.